In the season, every team wants to be in contention for a playoff spot like the Tigers. But after the Royals tagged their ace for 8 runs last night, the Royals found themselves in the role of spoiler in a 9-8 win with the Tigers doing some scoreboard watching. Game 2 is next on Fox Sports Kansas City. Baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium, where the Royals are getting ready for Game 2 with the Tigers after an exciting down-to-the-last-pitch win last night. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. And while it hasn't been quite the season on offense the Royals were hoping for this year, last night they did something nobody else has done all year. They scored 8 against Justin Verlander.
And the way they did it, after spotting them 3 runs in the first inning, they came back, answered to their own 3. And then the Moose was loose. Moose got 2 big knocks, and also that one at the end of the game that earned that shower. That's right. It was a nice shower when you win games and you go 5 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They earned it off to one of the best.
Tonight it'll be the Royals' opening day starter, Bruce Chen, against the Tigers. He's had 1 bad start against Detroit and 1 very good one. Royals Baseball is brought to you by your Kansas City Chevy dealers, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. By the Missouri Lottery. When you play, students win. Joel and Monty will help set up Bruce Chen's start tonight against the Tigers right after this.
Mendoza last night, 15th on the season. 4 of them have come against the Royals, nearly 5, because he almost put Detroit up in the 9th inning, missing by that much. Joel Goldberg back at Rivals with Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Bruce Chen will try to tame the Tigers 0-2 against him this year. How does he do it?
Well, they got a very tough lineup, Joel. Important for Bruce Chen to use his fastball effectively. I think when he pitches with his fastball, he's much better. Another thing that's important for him is to really own the inside of the part of the plate. Cannot allow the middle part of the Tigers lineup to get extended. Very important for him to own the inside. Another important factor for Bruce Chen tonight is to stay away from that big three. They are 19 for 43, hitting .442 against Bruce Chen.
0-2 against the Tigers this year, 2-0 against them last season. Bruce throws the first pitch next. Ryan and Rex have the call coming up.
Definition by Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. An exciting game last night, and the Detroit Tigers with a 3-run lead after a half inning, but the Royals came back with 3 in the bottom of the first, 4 in the second, but the Tigers tied it in the 8th. Royals going ahead in the bottom of the 8th, and now the Tigers are still 2 games back in the Central Division. Here's their lineup tonight with Jeff Baker in right field and Ramon Santiago at second base. They were not in the lineup last night. They'll be facing Bruce Chen for the 3rd time this year.
Yep, and you know, of course, Bruce, with the power they have in their lineup, it's important, especially against right-handers, that he keeps that fastball down. He's given up 19 home runs to right-handed batters. But, you know, like Monty so well described in the Kia Open, he's got to be able to establish his fastball, and he's had some better velocity lately. He's about 88 sometimes at tops, but he's able to change speeds with that and mix them really well. And he's going to need that outfield. Gordon out there is having another Gold Glove season. Hosmer's doing a great job at fielding over there at first base as well, and Brian Pena will be in back of the plate. It's Bruce's personal catcher.
Ball 1 to Austin Jackson, who arrived in Kansas City for the beginning of the series. 0 for his last 13, and he went 3 for 3 last night with 2 walks, a stolen base, 3 runs scored. So on base 5 times, getting his on base percentage up to .389.
So much is said about the middle of the order with Cabrera and Fielder, but really, you keep this guy off base, then they don't have anybody to knock in. It's hard to do, especially with his On base percentage at .391. That's second best among leadoff hitters in the American League. So he's doing his job.
And that's when he's leading off. He's
right.
batted in other spots in the lineup, but still the primary leadoff man. And now he'll be on for a 6th time in this series, and he's at second base with nobody out.
Okay, now last night Moose was able to make some in-pitch adjustments, but on this particular play here he wasn't able to guard the line. But last night, watch Moose over here. He's going to take a couple steps to his left in pitch. Watch him. He shuffles over, and didn't he just guess right? I mean, that's called instinctive moving right here. And this is tonight. Just now Austin pays him back as he laces a double down the line. Bruce going to have to bring in some curveballs like he does, arm angles, change speeds on all pitches. He can be fun to watch when he's on because he's creative. He's like an artist.
Andy Dirks. There's a team first swing as he gets a ground ball to the right side and gets Jackson over to third base with 1 out.
Easy execution there. That's what Dirks was looking to do, and Bruce gave an inside fastball and got the job done. And he'll go into that dugout just like he got a big hit, getting lots of love for doing the little things.
So an RBI spot for Miguel Cabrera in the first inning. 2 for 5 last night with his 107th RBI of the year. That is second in the American League. And the Royals decided to pitch to him in the 9th inning last night, and Greg Holland struck him out. The Royals pitched around Prince Fielder, and after the replay, when Delman Young hit one into the right field corner, which was eventually ruled foul, Young flied to left, and the Royals took game 1.
Situations like this, though, a majority of the time, Miguel Cabrera, he's nails. .356 average with runners in scoring position. The way the guy makes contact, he can hit it on the ground anywhere and pick up the RBI.
Still 0-2.
And he has had some pretty good numbers against Bruce in his career. 10 for 23 with 3 homers. So he's got a little confidence going in on Bruce, but Bruce has him down 0-2. See if he can trick him.
Still no balls, 2 strikes. Bruce on Friday at Boston gave up some runs in the first inning. David Ortiz had just come off the disabled list and delivered a big base hit in the bottom of the first for the Red Sox, but then Bruce was scoreless over his next 5 innings. Gave up 3 runs over 6, ended up with a no decision. Boston won that game 4-3.
It's always important for early count outs for Bruce because sometimes his pitch count can get elevated early in games by what hitters are doing right now, what Cabrera's doing to him, fouling off a lot of them.
Doing a really good job with Cabrera here of keeping it out of the middle of the plate. Everything right on the outer edges of the strike zone. And that's just a little bit inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's pretty good plate discipline. That's knowing your strike zone there. He took that. A lot of guys would be hacking.
Pitching him inside again, 2-2.
Hey, nice pitch is duplicating previous one. That's a good spot there to try to get him to swing and miss on. Try a breaking ball down.
That's what he got. And a big strikeout of Cabrera with a runner at third.
Boy, now that had some great depth to it. He finished it off from the sidearm. He dropped his arm angle way down. It starts way outside and comes across the plate, but down. Big out early for Bruce.
And now Prince Fielder with a runner at third, 2 down, and Bruce starts him off with a fastball for a strike.
Prince and Cabrera almost have identical averages with runners in scoring position. Cabrera's at 356 and Prince is at 357. And he hits lefties at a 294 clip. Left-handers don't bother him at all. It's because he keeps his front side closed. He's not quick to open up. A lot of left-handers will throw that big looping curveball into left-handed hitters, and you don't see a lot of lefties. You might have one in a rotation, maybe two. You see in a majority of righties.
Really tied him up. You don't see Prince Fielder take swings like that very often. 1 and 2.
Hitters can guess with Bruce. They try to guess what pitch is coming with him, because you never know. He's got like 6 different pitches and 3 different arm angles.
No big surprises on that list except for Coco Crisp. Back-to-back strikeouts of Cabrera and Fielder, with a runner at third and a scoreless first for Bruce Chen.
But he's dissecting early. The doctor's in the house.
First pitch. Game started on time. It's 7:10. Time and temp brought to you by the parking spot at KCI. By Friday, we hope to be into the mid-80s, and now looking at the forecast on Saturday, the high temperature might be in the upper 70s with the Minnesota Twins in town over the weekend. Royals lineup tonight. Lorenzo Cain will be in right field, so Jeff Francoeur is out of the lineup, and Brian Pena back of the plate with Bruce Chen on the mound. Those are the only changes from last night, and the Royals didn't need very big changes after scoring 9 runs, 15 hits against Justin Verlander. Tonight it's Anibal Sanchez.
Okay, and Anibal has had a tough time since the trade, through 5 starts since being acquired by Detroit from the Miami Marlins. Sanchez has allowed at least 5 runs in 3 of those outings, and so he's adjusting from the National League to the American League. And sometimes National League pitchers will tell you it's a little bit different over here when you got hitters 1 through 9. There's no pitcher, an easy out in the bottom hole. But he's going to cut his fastball into lefties. He's got a nice little curveball, change up, slider to righties. Try to learn something from that guy's outing last night. Stay out of the middle of the plate.
Dyson on his way to first base. Ted Barrett, home plate umpire, says not so fast.
It's not overpowering. He might reach 93.
Fielder right at the bag, 1 away. And a look at the Tigers defensively, brought to you by Ford.
Hey, it sure is fun to watch Austin Jackson. And this outfield is not quite as big as Comerica in center field, but it's still very spacious, and to watch him go get them can be quite a treat.
Jeff Baker in right. Quentin Berry was in left field last night, and Andy Dirks, the former Wichita State Shocker, goes from right field to left tonight, opening up a spot for Baker. 2 more hits last night for Alcides Escobar, and he has been one of the best in the American League hitting at home. Fan favorite here because of his defense and then what he has done at the plate. 302 altogether, but if you break him down home and road, he has the second best batting average at home in the American League. Only Denard Span of the Twins has hit better at home. Span hitting at 347, Escobar 345 at Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, and you know what? He hits anywhere, but when you break the stats down like that, he really thrives here. Spacious gaps. I've seen him hit a couple of home runs out of his 4 here.
And he's been doing a lot of that, going the other way. So he adds to that impressive number at home, and the Royals have 1 on, 1 out in the first.
Yep, he's very confident. Beginning of the season, wasn't sure exactly what to expect. They were hitting him in the 8th spot, the 9th spot Ned was, and then sometimes they'd move him up and leading off, and now he's found a home in the 2nd slot, and he's ideal for that. He's very good at hitting behind runners. The only thing that you would like ideally from a number 2 hitter is a left-handed batter to protect the prototypical base stealer you have. The catcher have to throw over him, but that's not that big a deal. Oh.
Alex Gordon just led Prince Fielder to the bag. Nothing Escobar could do about that. Royals send just 3 to the plate in the first. No score. With the Moose calls at the ballpark, but now is your chance to look the part. This Saturday, the Royals will be handing out signature Moose Stockus antlers to the first 10,000 fans, courtesy of the Kansas City Zoo. The Royals take on the Minnesota Twins that night at 6:10. Go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. And Mike Moustakas never felt better with a Gatorade shower after the game last night, coming up with 2 huge hits for the Royals after going just 1 for 23 on the road trip. He was able to brush all of that aside last night.
Yeah, and that's good to see, but probably he didn't mind taking a bath, but his glove didn't want that bath.
Very concerned about his glove.
Yeah, he had it tucked, and then when they poured it on him, he kept it. He closed it in on him. So
and then he fired it into the dugout.
Yeah, I mean, your glove gets wet and it gets heavy, and you got to dry it out.
That was the first thing I noticed up here watching that. Is that he took the shower, and then all of a sudden this dark object just went flying into the Royals dugout. And it was Moustakas throwing his glove away from the Gatorade.
Yeah, nowadays you never know what your teammates are going to do to you when you're doing post-game wrap-ups. Jim Leland with a nice catch there over the rail. He's still got some skills.
Delmon Young hit his 15th home run of the year last night in the first inning, and then nearly hit a 3-run home run in the 9th. That was the play that required instant replay, with the umpires going in and taking another look at it. First ruled foul by then first base umpire Ted Barrett. The Tigers argued, and the call stood. And then the next pitch, Delmon Young fly to left to end the game.
Okay, this is the controversial. Well, it wasn't controversial. It happens in baseball. A lot of those, but nowadays with replay, they can get it right. Frenchie said just missed the pole by that much.
Giavotella to the middle with a backhand. Over to Hosmer, one down in the second inning.
That was a great interview that Joel Goldberg did in his Hy-Vee Live Royals pregame show with Giavotella's family in Louisiana. They're doing okay. They talked to his aunt, who owns Gio's restaurant there, and fortunately, they're weathering the storm. We want to send our best to you folks out there, and we're happy you're tuning in tonight.
And they will gather often to have pizza and watch Johnny when he's with the Royals. And Johnny will be with the Royals because of the injury to Chris Getz. Royals going to get a long look at him in the final month of the season. And as you pointed out during the broadcast yesterday, that all reports are good on his improvements on defense.
Yeah, he's a lot more confident, you can tell, and he's looser. Yeah, he's a little more loose out there. He's not as stiff and tight as he was in his first time through. He looks like he belongs, and that's the body language you want to give off to your opponents and to your manager.
Peralta hits a shot, but Alex makes a sliding play in left field for the second out. And Peralta also homered last night for the Tigers. So 2 down in the second inning.
Had topspin on it. Gordon knows that by the swing he took. See how that ball just sinks down in there? He's able to scoot it in. Get a little grass stain on him. Haven't seen any grass stains on him lately because the ball hasn't taken him there, but we've seen plenty of dirt on him. All those slides into second base with all those doubles. Tough to keep his uniform clean. That's pine tar from his bat on his shoulder and his back.
This is Jeff Baker. Royals have seen him with the Colorado Rockies. He was with the Cubs earlier this year, coming over to the Tigers in a trade. 2 balls and 1 strike. Baker out of Clemson University, drafted in 2002 by the Rockies in the 4th round. Moustakas handles a tough hop, guns it across the diamond, and Bruce Chen gets the Tigers in order in the second. Moose, 88 years old. He has dedicated his life to giving back to his community. He originally started the Meals on Wheels organization in Liberty, Missouri. That was back in 1974, and recently retired after 38 years. He still serves as a member of the Liberty Hospital Board and was also a previous president of the Liberty School Board. And in addition to all that, Bill also is a veteran and served in Europe during World War II. Sitting in the Buck O'Neill legacy seat at tonight's game with no score as Billy Butler leads off the second inning, and it's a sharp one-hopper out to Peralta, one away. A reminder as you enjoy a cold one tonight to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Moustakas last night, 3 hits, a double, 3 RBIs. And of the 3 hits, he hit the ball to all fields. Had a base hit to left center, a base hit to center field, and a base hit up the right field line. This is the double against Phil Koch in the bottom of the 8th to put the Royals back in front 9-8. That was the game-winning RBI.
Moose looked very free and easy yesterday. He didn't look real stiff or didn't look like he was guessing. Happens when you start feeling good, and the hitters will tell you, I'm seeing it better. It's hard to decipher that exactly, but that's what they tell you. When you're going good, I'm seeing the ball. And when you're not going so good, the ball looks like a golf ball.
And it always seems, to add to your point, that when hitters are going well, that's all that they say. I'm seeing the ball well. They're not thinking about their hands. They're not thinking about their head, their stride, their shoulder. They're just seeing the ball. But when they're struggling, they'll give you a whole laundry list of things that they're doing wrong.
I know, it's amazing. There's Moose, though. All he's going to see when he's down in the count are changeups, and that's what Sanchez likes to throw lefties. It fades away from their bat. So Moose is going to have to try to do his best to stay on it. He did on a Verlander pitch in the first inning in last night's game. He hit a nice double down that left field line.
And now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Royals in the first inning got a base hit from Escobar with 1 out, and then Alex Gordon hit a shot right to Prince Fielder, who was able to double up Escobar to end the inning. Austin Jackson, great center fielder, runs it down in shallow right center, 2 away in the second.
Hey, what makes that a tough play is when a good power hitter like Moose takes a full swing, most fielders are going to go back on their heels. But then you got to come in because it jams him and he doesn't get the good part of the bat on it, and you got to come in quick.
And here's Lorenzo Cain, who may have been a popular guy in the clubhouse before the game tonight, because he is the only Royal who has faced Sanchez, and that was 2 years ago when he was playing for the Brewers. Sanchez has spent his entire big league career with the Marlins, so this is his first time in the American League, although he is first from the Red Sox organization and was part of a big trade in 2005. He and Hanley Ramirez went to Boston in a deal that sent Josh Beckett and Mike Lowell to the Red Sox, and those two helped Boston win the World Series in 2007.
Well, if you look at his splits between right-handers and left-handers, the average, it's not pretty. Righties so far in 5 starts in the American League, 346 with 3 homers. Lefties 344 with 2 homers. So he's just finding too much at the plate. He's been up in the strike zone.
Cain loses his bat, and Peralta throws high, and Lorenzo Cain is safe. We'll see how they score it. And it's a base hit. So 2 hits for the Royals tonight.
Well, Peralta, he couldn't. The ball moved up his glove. He didn't get a good grip on this. The ball almost came out. It started there, and he had a double clutch for it. And by the time he found his grip, he panicked and threw too high. But that's what speed does. Forces mistakes.
That's 2 hits for the Royals. And Royals Vice President Mike Swanson was saying before the game, all he wants to see is a base hit off of Anibal Sanchez, because he had never seen that before. When Swanee was with the he knows where I'm going with this. When Swanee was with the Arizona Diamondbacks before coming back to Kansas City, Sanchez threw a no-hitter against Arizona. That was in his rookie year in 2006. So Swanee's bar tonight for the Royals was low. He said, hey, I just want to see a hit off of Sanchez. I've never seen that before. Well, he's got 2 in 2 innings.
There you go.
Sanchez also came very close to throwing a no-hitter last year against the Colorado Rockies. It was broken up in the 9th inning. So that's the kind of stuff he has. And concerned with Lorenzo Cain at first base with 2 outs. Eric Hosmer 0 for 4 last night with a walk. The Tigers have really pitched him well this year. Eric just 3 out of 34 against Detroit. Cain got a big jump. All the Royals are doing are leading Prince Fielder to first base to end the inning. So Cain is stranded, and at the end of 2, no score. .144 career wins, second most in Royals history, 23 career shutouts. But the stat that the guys love to talk about these days when talking about Leo is the complete games. And I was just checking the American League leaders. Justin Verlander has 6 complete games to lead the American League. Dennis Leonard one year had 21 complete games, and another year where he had 20.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, back then, that's what we were expected to do. Right. I mean, that's why we were called starters. The game is 9 innings. So that was our job, at least to go out and give it a whirl to try to get through that 9th inning. And, fortunately, I was able to do that a few times.
I remember, and you remember too, we were on a caravan, and Brian Anderson, who was pitching for the Royals, and we were coming back from Iowa or something like that. And he got a hold of the Royals media guide, and he saw how many complete games Leo had in single seasons. You also had a 16 complete game year, but 103 complete games in Dennis Leonard's career, and Brian Anderson came unglued. He just could not fathom that. So that was entertaining on the drive back, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely, because I never met him, and you know how those caravans go. You get on there, and the current players a little hesitant to mix with the former players. And then when he got that media guide, I mean, I don't want to repeat on TV what he said, but he couldn't believe it. And, you know, a lot of these guys now, they're on different programs. You know, they're more on a pitch count, which we never were. So I don't think complete games are a thing of the game today. I mean, they got more specialized people in the bullpen. They got people for the 8th, the 9th. And basically, when I started out, the starters, they were the starters. The relievers wanted to be starters, you know. So the relievers were basically the guys that couldn't start. Got a little bit different in the big leagues. You know, there was some specialization there, but not quite like it is today.
Did you ever have any Tommy John surgery or anything like you hear about today?
Rex, to be honest with you, what was frustrating for me, my arm was always sound. I missed basically 3 years, got hurt in May of '83 and didn't come back to pitch until '86. But that was a blowout in my knee. I tore the patella tendon off my kneecap and had 4 surgeries, came back, and I was able to do something that I always wanted to do, was to come back and pitch in a major league game again.
It's awesome.
Let me finish the story here.
Look at him. I mean, all them innings, and he never had a breakdown.
There's a part of this story that Leo's leaving out here. Okay, he misses basically 3 seasons because of his knee, right?
Right.
First game back, shutout. National television. I mean,
Wow.
you talk to Denny Matthews and you talk to Fred White, and people have been with the organization for a long time. And there were some great team moments in the 70s and the 80s with the Royals. But when you talk about great individual achievements, one that still stirs up a lot of emotion today, it was Leo's comeback in 1986. That was something.
Well, it was kind of fun for me because, you know, it was unfortunate for me. I was hurt and I didn't participate in the '85 series when we won. And basically, I only got the opportunity to start that because Danny Jackson hurt his ankle. And when they told me I was starting on national TV, the only thing that went through my mind at the time was, okay, don't embarrass yourself. Then we get to the 4th inning, nothing. The 6th inning, nothing. I said, wow, this isn't too bad. And then we finally pushed the run across. And I remember I gave a base hit up in the 9th, and I think Gary Blaylock was the pitching coach. When he came out to talk to me, everybody was booing him. And, you know, Dick Hauser said at the time, he says, there's no way I was ever going to take him out. It's his game to win or lose. And it's ironic that I struck out Rance Mullenix, who was a former teammate of mine, to end the game. So, you know, everything I did for the 4 years, the 3 years, the rehab, the surgeries, that one game made it all worthwhile.
Great play by Moustakas, and the Royals turn it into a double play. We'll continue with Dennis Leonard when we get to the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score at Kauffman Stadium. Turned in by Mike Moustakas. Dennis Leonard's also up here to talk about Royals fans batting practice, which is coming up on September 8th.
Oh, definitely. It's a fun time, I think, for everybody. I'd like to invite everybody to come out there. Basically, you get a T-shirt and some shorts, you get a little bit of breakfast, and you have the opportunity to come out on this beautiful field and hit against me and Monty and a few of the other Royals alumni guys, and you'll get plenty of swings. So if you ever had that desire to come out here to see if you can hit it over that wall, this is your opportunity.
And you're happy to serve it up to them if they can do it, right?
Yeah, Rex, this is the greatest thing about being a former pitcher. Right now, I want people to hit it.
Okay.
Because that means I don't have to throw as many pitches. And I think in your older age, they put me on a pitch count, and some of the functions I've did this year, I think my pitch count was 200. And I got as high as about 188 once when we were doing the Naturals sponsor game in Springdale, Arkansas. But here you try to let them hit it, and it's kind of fun. The only thing, my only rules are you don't hit it up the middle, cage or nothing, because if you do, the next one's going behind your head.
Ooh, I like that style, you know?
That's some old style.
Old school, yeah. So September 8th, it's 8 a.m. until noon, and the cost is $300. But when you factor in all that time with Royals alumni and all the time on the field, and you get a chance to really appreciate how big Kauffman Stadium is, and in addition to the swings, get some ground balls too. And I'd imagine if somebody wanted to get a tip or two from you on the mound, you'd be willing to pass that along.
Oh, definitely. And obviously the people that are going to be here are a little bit too old to be playing. But the thing that I often like to do, a lot of these guys might have some kids playing in Little League. And not just for me, but we got guys like John Mayberry, position players that are going to be here. So if they want to learn a little bit about hitting, they want to learn about pitching or infield or outfield, we have those type of players here that they can be helped out. But basically it's run like a batting practice. We have 4 different groups. One hits in the cage, one fields, one's hitting, and we just kind of rotate around.
And I just got word that we're down to about 9 or 10 spots left. So if you're interested, now's the time to call. And the number is 816-504-4150.
I guess. I'm not in charge of the phone number.
No.
I just got to show up with my arm ready.
Weather should be good. You give them some 4-seamers to hit?
Oh, definitely. Right down the middle. And
have you seen anybody actually hit homers here?
Well, actually, there was one year there was a player that actually showed up. I think he played in a minor league with somebody. He was a left-handed hitter. I think he lived in Wichita. Somebody went to Wichita State, and Jamie Bloomer was kidding him. And he said, if anybody hits one out, you get a free TV and $500. But it was all in jest.
Oh, right.
Well, from what I understand, he did, and he was looking to get his rewards. So we got in a lot of trouble for that. So there's no rewards if you hit it over the fence. But in the years we've done this, actually, he's the only one that hit it out.
There's a challenge for you.
That sounds like something Bloomer would do. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Johnny Giavitella. You must be 25 years of age or older to come out to fans batting practice. And by the way, if you're interested in a Royals alumni fantasy camp, which is coming up next year, and you're always involved with that $300 is applied if you also want to go to fantasy camp.
Well, that's definitely true. And I think if you talk to anybody that was at the fantasy camp, everybody has such a great time. It's an opportunity for them to experience to a degree what we experienced when we were playing, to be on a major league field, to share the Major League Royals clubhouse, down in, or out in Arizona there in Surprise. I mean, it's just a fun time. And, if anybody is interested in that and they go to the batting practice, like you said, they do get $300 off the price of the fantasy camp.
And it's a little bit of a preview, right? I mean, what you do at fans batting practice is a lot of the same things that you'll be doing at fantasy camp.
Oh, definitely. We're just getting them ready for the games. Mm-hmm. So hopefully if there's 45 or 50 people at the batting practice and they all say we're going to go to fantasy camp, we will be happy campers.
Literally.
Literally.
There's a good bunt by Gerard Dyson. Gets it past the mound, and no chance for Santiago to make a play. So Dyson is on with 2 down in the 3rd inning as we continue to visit with Dennis Leonard.
Dennis, we were talking in between innings here as we see this excellent bunt here, well placed. About pitchers, and you threw all those complete games and never had any arm problems, and so many issues come up today. The kids are on pitch counts and they still get hurt. But you were telling me about pitchers throw, and you used to just throw all the time and run.
Well, that's all we did back when we played. Basically, we played a lot of long toss in between starts. We did our throwing on the side in the bullpen. And with me, even sometimes when it got to late August or middle of August, if I had a lot of innings logged in, I even skipped the throwing on the side because I was getting a lot of innings. But, we were always taught if you're a pitcher and a starting pitcher, you need to throw. And we were really never anybody lifted weights at that time. Weights are out because the theory back then was you don't want to bulk up. You're not going to have the elasticity, in your arm, and, it's going to take something away from you. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know when it started, but this pitch count came into play. And now it's pretty much not just the Royals, but throughout Major League Baseball. And whether it's good or bad, like you said, there seems to be just as many injuries, if not more now, as we had in the past.
I wonder how much the pitch count has to do with the effort we see from pitchers these days. I mean, everybody's throwing. I mean, you see 91, 95 on the radar gun now, and I mean, it's just not as big a deal as it was when you pitched. And you guys were, for lack of a better word, you guys were more craftsmen back then, right? I mean, you really had a feel for changing speeds, and I imagine that had something to do with endurance.
Well, definitely. Basically, I think the best pitch in baseball is a straight changeup. But the unfortunate thing is, unless you have a super one like that Santana had from Minnesota, something that special, you're only going to throw a changeup maybe 8 or 10 times in a game in the right places. So you better be accurate with it to make them effective. But basically, you're going to I always relied on my fastball. I mean, you move it around. I think sometimes right now, just watching games, I don't think some of these pitchers trust what they have. Early in the count, they're trying to nip at corners. And the next thing you know, you're behind 2-0 or 3-1. And the hitter knows what's coming. And there's no time to nip then. So if you're pitching behind in the count all the time, it's pretty obvious you're going to get hurt a lot. But my theory was to challenge them. Here it is. If you hit the first pitch, you hit the first pitch. And, then you move it around a little bit. And actually, if I gave a home run up on an inside fastball, the next time that guy came up, I threw him another inside fastball. Because I don't think he'd ever be looking for it. He said, "What, this pitch is stupid? He's throwing the same pitch twice." But a pitching that I think really overall, talent is something. I think the mental makeup of players is what makes them successful. It's easy to deal with success, but how do you deal with failure? How do you get yourself ready and put that bad game out of your mind, go out, do all your work, and come back ready and positive? You can trick your mind, say, "I'm really sure I'm going to go out and win," but you can only be honest with yourself. Right. And when I played, I had good games and I had some real bad ones. But when I went into the clubhouse after the game, if I knew I did everything I had to do, I had to live with myself. I didn't care what fans thought or anybody else, writers, but I had to answer to me. And so if I did everything I needed to do to try to be successful that day and it worked, great. If it didn't work, I was disappointed, but that's the way it went.
Leo, great to see you.
Okay,
Hope I see you on the Caravan this winter. And we'll see you September 8th.
Okay.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, okay.
Out at second base and his thoughts on friends and family back in New Orleans.
Everybody's doing fine so far. It's been, pretty much 24 hours just of, hurricane just beating down New Orleans, so it's kind of concerning. I've been talking to my parents, on and off for the past 24 hours, and they're doing well. The house is holding up fine. And that particular area isn't taking much water, but I know that an hour south of New Orleans is getting hit pretty hard, and levees are breaching, houses are flooding. So my thoughts and prayers are going out to those people in New Orleans and on the Gulf Coast, and just keep them in my thoughts.
So Johnny checking in as often as he can. And guys, as you talked about before, his aunt Gail Posey joined us on Hy-Vee Royals Live and really enjoyed catching up with her. And she said almost miraculously, and hopefully the power is still on, and if so, they're watching us right now as we see pictures from Hurricane Katrina. And Gail was talking about during Katrina, and she is the owner of Gio's Pizza in New Orleans, the restaurant not too far from the house, and she said that they were open until about a day before Katrina hit, and Johnny was bussing tables at that point before they finally had to get out of town. And so the restaurant is closed today. The family, she said, gathered for a very large Italian meal, and they were looking forward to good food and good baseball, and everybody doing well down there. So I want to say hello to all of them, and we really enjoyed visiting with Gail, filling us in on what's going on, and she's very excited about her nephew.
Did somebody tell me earlier today that it is 7 years to the day that Katrina hit? Wow. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Andy Dirks, leading off the top of the 4th inning. Dirks grounded to Johnny Giavotella in the first. Into left field, and Alex Gordon is there for the first out. Tomorrow's the final game of the series with the Tigers, and you can come out and experience the new NightlifeKC.com lounge located on the Budweiser patio. Tickets are just $30. That gets you in the door. 2 beverage vouchers, a private DJ, plush seating, and much more. So come on out tomorrow, enjoy this unique atmosphere in an exclusive outdoor lounge. With a runner at third base and 1 out in the first inning, Bruce Chen struck out Miguel Cabrera and then struck out Prince Fielder. Just 1 hit and 2 base runners so far for the Tigers tonight.
I mean, the pitch he struck him out on was a beauty. That thing must have broke 5 feet. It started way out in the left-handed batter's box. Ends up down and in to his back leg.
And now Cabrera is 0 for 2. 2 down in the 4th inning. Bruce tonight making his 14th career start against the Tigers. He has faced them twice this year. And here at Kauffman Stadium on April 17th, Bruce was outstanding. Took the loss, a tough luck loss in a low-scoring game. 7 strikeouts in 7 innings and allowed just 2 earned runs as Fielder goes deep to center field. And Dyson makes the play. That's an 11-pitch 4th inning for Bruce Chen. 4 scoreless innings for Bruce. Royals coming up. Royals baseball is brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealer and by AT&T, the world's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Beautiful shot of the moon. Looks like a full moon to me. Steve Kurtenbach, our director, is the lunar expert. Ball 1-2, Billy Butler. Billy grounded to short first time up. Is that indeed a full moon? It's a gibbous. So it would be a waxing gibbous, right? If one more day to a full moon. How about that, Hud?
It's interesting.
Not to be confused with a waning gibbous, which means it's getting smaller.
It's a little out of my league, but full moon's easy enough.
You're kind of a full moon guy, aren't you?
I am, but I'm a very happy one.
Three balls and one strike on Billy, followed by Mike Moustakas and Lorenzo Cain.
Especially when these guys hit like they did last night. I mean, that early action, heck, I couldn't stay in my seat.
That'll be out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, that should carry the guys for a while, you would think, what they did to Justin Verlander last night. And here's what Anibal Sanchez did to the Toronto Blue Jays. That was a week ago. So Sanchez had quite a bit of rest in between starts. The Tigers trying to slow him down. And now tonight against the Royals, pitching on extra days rest. In fact, that start on Wednesday was on 8 days rest and pitched well against the Blue Jays. And now 6 days rest tonight instead of the typical 4 days in between starts.
Yeah, this is the time of the year.
Jackson is back to the track at the wall, and he makes the play on Billy Butler.
Okay, Billy Butler now has squared up the ball twice, and first one was a hard shot to Peralta, one hopper. And now this one here, Jackson, I told you at the beginning of the game, this guy can play some center field. So Butler runs him face first into the wall. Sanchez likes it. Billy, that's just a big hang with him for him. Maybe he can hit one soft next time, but that ran Jackson right into that wall. He's a little winded. Good to see he's okay. 410 feet and you have nothing but an out. It's a frustrating game sometimes.
It's not going to get much sympathy from the Tigers, though. It's even deeper in center field in Detroit. Not quite as deep as it was at Tiger Stadium.
Well, so Billy, you know, he's 0 for 2, but he's hit the ball hard. Makes him his last 4 home games versus the Tigers 12 for 19, 4 RBIs. That's just the home game. 4 of them. That's raking. That's a lot of hitting. And he hadn't stopped.
(3-0) on Moustakas. He flied to center field in the second inning. 420 feet to straightaway center field at Comerica Park in Detroit. And Hud remembers old Tiger Stadium where it was 440 to center field.
What a bomb. I went out there one time to retrieve one of my teammates' first major league home runs, Todd Green. He hit one nearly out there and left of the center field, but it was in the crowd, and I ran out there with 2 balls. And by the time I got out there, it took me so long, I'm bartering to get the ball back, and I turned around, they had stopped the game because I'm on the field, so I went ahead and went through the gate, and I stood out there in center field for like 10 minutes. It was a long inning, 15 minutes. But I remember how long that run was. 440. I never could get to it, let alone hit a ball that far.
It's been a long time where the Tigers have needed a center fielder who can cover some ground because of the 2 ballparks there. And Moustakas goes up the right field line and down into the corner. That is his 4th hit of the series. It is his 2nd double, and the Royals have a runner at second with 1 out.
Okay, when that ball's elevated, hitters know what to do with it. Moose coming out of his funk, he's ready. That ball just spun right there, didn't break, didn't do anything. Set on the inner half. If you pitch him inside, you better make sure you're in off the plate 2 or 3 inches. He almost slipped there.
That's 5 hits for the Royals against Sanchez in 3 1/3 innings. Tigers have just 1 hit in 4 innings against Bruce Chen. Lorenzo Cain has one of those 5 hits, reached with an infield single in the 2nd inning. Oh, 2.
Cain hitting .293 with a runner in scoring position. Pretty good number. Sanchez will break that slider away just like Cain saw to righties.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Mike Moustakas just 1 for 23 on the trip, and now 5 for 7 on the homestand.
Amazing how 1 hit can turn it around. Confidence sets in. Positive thinking. That felt good. I'm back. I'm ready to do it again.
Cain hits it to the right side. Santiago gets a nice big bounce. Lorenzo is out, and Moustakas goes to 3rd. Here's a look at tonight's Time Warner pitch speed comparison. Anibal Sanchez and Bruce Chen. Quite a difference. 7 miles per hour on the fastball so far tonight. You can get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. That's a good speed for Bruce Chen, normally around 86 to 88, sometimes 89, 90 with his fastball, and he's got a good one tonight and has allowed just 1 hit in 4 innings.
So now that there's 2 outs, Hosmer can go ahead and knock in the run. 17 of the last 23 runs have come off Royals bats with 2 outs.
2-0.
It's a very nice trend to happen on your team. That means you're taking advantage of the situation by shortening up your swing, putting it in play. Kevin Seitzer says, you know, we did that earlier, but we hit some atom balls. Guys were catching everything we hit. So now we're finding some holes.
Moustakas with a 1-out double, going to 3rd on the ground out from Cain. Two and 2.
Okay, 94 and then an 86 mile an hour changeup might be coming here. He's been speeding him up and slowing him down. Lefties, that's going to be his out pitch, his changeup that fades away from him, especially after that 94. And like Bruce Chen, Sanchez chews his gum with confidence.
Hosmer lucky to make contact with a pitch that high. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Gum chewers I don't see on the mound that often. I don't remember when I played and seeing guys chew their gum that much, but I don't know why they stick out to me.
Well, right after you created a national stir by saying Bruce Chen chewed his gum with confidence.
Yeah, quite a stir. Uh-oh.
3-2 on Eric Hosmer. Shortly after that, Francisco Liriano began to pitch well for the Minnesota Twins, and one of the things he pointed to was he was so tense on the mound that he started chewing gum, and it just helped him to relax.
It'll help you, I'm telling you. And didn't help him on that last pitch as he hopped off the mound. Ted Barrett didn't give it to him, but there was the changeup. 3-2. I don't think he's going to throw him anything straight here either.
Brian Pena is on deck. Broke his bat.
He's got a
and
ribby.
He drops it over the mound. RBI base hit.
I could tell when he hit it. That ball had a chance to be a 70-foot knock. Pulled out his little punch wedge and it stuck right in the ground. Nice chip shot.
That's a shot that would make Tom Watson blush.
That's a beautiful thing. You're going good when you get a jam sandwich like that and it just plugs into the ground. And there it is, another 2-out ribby. The Moose is saying, blow, go ball, go. And Trent's Fielder's giving him a hard time over there. And all of those guys are getting a kick out of that. Hosmer, he slid into first base too. He really wanted that ribby and the knock.
So 1-0 Royals lead, and now Brian Pena. Brian flied to center in the third inning. Sanchez tonight has really kept Austin Jackson busy in center field.
Okay, Sanchez is playing the holding game on Hosmer because he knows Eric might attempt to steal a base. He's got 12. He's only been thrown out one time.
And that's already one more stolen base than Hosmer had last year with the Royals. Off speed and in for a strike to Pena. And that's hit hard, but right to Santiago. So the Royals had a couple of hard hit outs in the inning, but it's Hosmer's bloop over the mound that drives in Moustakas for the lead.
In bat, infield single, RBI. Difference in the game. We take a look at right now at some news and notes from around the league. How about Mike Trout last night becoming the first ever rookie and youngest player in baseball history with a 25 home run, 40 stolen base season. Absolutely remarkable. The Twins today awarded the 2014 All-Star Game up at Target Field, and the Royals today announcing that they will send 8 players to the Arizona Fall League this year, and that is where some of the best talent goes every fall. Will Myers played in there last year, and some of the names that will be heading that way: Edwin Carl, John Keck, Justin Marks, Alex McClure, Brian Fletcher, and others. So keep getting those prospects, cranking them through, and we'll be well represented in Arizona, guys.
All right, thank you, Joel. Dyson running up, and it's going to drop in front of him. Delman Young is 1 for 2. Royals scored the game's first run in the bottom of the fourth, and now the Tigers have the leadoff man on, and that's their first hit since Austin Jackson opened the game with a double against Bruce Chen, and Bruce stranded Jackson at third base, and now he's in the middle of his second time through the batting order, and the most troublesome first, second, third time through for Bruce has been the first time through, and then he gets a little bit better after that. And tonight, first time through, a double and a walk and no run scored.
But that first inning gem he pitched out of was a beauty. Retired the 2 sluggers with leaving The runner at third was excellent execution. You know, talking about that fall league that Joel was just talking about, I went there last year and watched some games, and I couldn't believe how many scouts were there. I mean, it was just all scouts. Now, there wasn't very many fans there, but most of the people that were there were all teams looking at the young players. It's a short season. It's a showcase.
1-2 on Peralta. Now, that's quite an honor when the team tells you that you are one of our representatives in the Arizona Fall League. That means you are playing with the elite of the elite and guys that are just right on the doorstep of the big leagues. 2-2 on Peralta. Peralta lined to Alex Gordon in the second inning. Hit his 10th home run of the year last night. Delman Young at first base with nobody out. That's a foul ball.
Okay, now Moose is ready for anything hit at him. We saw a spectacular play he made to turn a double play early for Bruce. That was back, I believe it was in the third inning. And when you're got a left-handed pitcher throwing to a right-handed dominated lineup, you get a lot of righties pull that ball right down to third.
Still 2-2 on Peralta. And a pitcher like Bruce, of his style, it's really no surprise that he pitches righties better than lefties. And Bruce does have a lower opponent's batting average against the right-handers, pitching them in with his cut fastball. And as you said, when he's on, the third baseman and the shortstop are busy. Very high in the air to left center field. Young runs back to first, but he's just bluffing a tag as Dyson makes the play, one down. Also coming up tomorrow for the series finale with the Tigers, it's another Frenchie Quarter night. $21 gets you a seat in the right field cheering section, a limited edition Frenchie Quarter t-shirt, and Mardi Gras beads. Get your tickets now at Royals.com/Frenchie. And we hope that they are celebrating soon again in New Orleans. Out at second base, second double play started by Mike Moustakas in the last 3 innings. And Bruce Chen has started tonight with 5 scoreless. In a wild pitch to save the game last night. You'll get a chance to meet Greg as he'll be signing autographs at Taco Bell in Blue Springs. That's coming up this Friday from noon until 1. And for more information on upcoming Royals events, visit royals.com/community. Again, that's Friday from noon until 1 at Taco Bell in Blue Springs.
You see that young man right there? That's Bill Duplessis. He's the bullpen coach, he's the catcher. And that guy's been with the organization for 7 years now. And if you see him, tell him what a good job he does. He works so hard with the Royals and catches guys in the bullpen, but that's not only his only job. He helps coordinate advanced scouting for the team. He helps Dave Island and Seitzer get advanced reports for teams. So during the day, he gets here at 1 o'clock. And heck, he says he has the most fun out there in the pen with those guys. I asked Billy, I said, over the 7 years, who's been the toughest to warm up? And he told me Denny Batista, hard-throwing lefty. Said he was hard to catch. He was all over the place. He was a righty. And I said, who's the toughest now that you got to catch? All those hard throwers. And he said Greg Holland's the toughest because he likes to bounce his fastballs a lot because he always is wanting to keep his fastball down. He said it beats him up some back there. And I said, okay, who's the easiest? And he said Kelvin Herrera. And I said, why? And he said, because he hits my glove wherever I put it.
At 99 to 100 miles an hour.
I was a little shocked when he told me he was the easiest. But he's married. Tiffany, 3.5-year-old son, Billy, they live here in Kansas City during the season. And they go home to San Mateo, California in the off season. So I like to spend a little time with some of the guys that work really hard and they don't get seen like the players do all the time. Got to give Billy a little love.
Fouled away by Johnny Giavotella. He's 0 for 1. Had Billy on a pregame show on the radio once, and he gave us a breakdown of all the different bullpens in the American League. You know, where the fans are the roughest or where the fans are most fun, and spent a lot of time talking about Oakland, where the fans are just right on top of those guys in the bullpen. And you just pointed out he's from the Bay Area. One hop to Cabrera at third. And Giavotella is out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Now you get a guy that's been in an organization that long, and especially, you know, in his position, as you mentioned, all the guys that he gets to warm up. I mean, he's back there. The starting catcher usually comes out for, the very end, maybe the last 10, 15 pitches or so to catch the starter. But when you see Kelvin Herrera, you see Greg Holland getting ready to come into the game, we typically will just show you the pitcher warming up, but he's the one that's back there getting them ready to come into the game. And you brought up Denny Batista. Boy, he had some games where he looked like he was going to be the next great thing, and other games where the strike zone was just a big mystery.
Great guy.
2-1 on Gerard Dyson. Dropped down a great drag bunt in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2 tonight, 1 for 3 last night with a couple of walks. He's been on base 4 times in the series. This is game 2. And a shot right to Santiago. 2 up, 2 down. Let's go to Joel.
Well, Ryan, it was great to see some familiar faces in the clubhouse today. Danny Duffy back. We'll call it the Tommy John boys. Danny Duffy was back. Felipe Paulino was back for the pictures, and also team pictures today, and also Joaquim Soria. We haven't seen him much. He's been rehabbing out in Arizona. He said that everything feels great. He's doing everything now but throwing. The strength is good. He feels like everything is going great for him, and he was in to get that elbow checked out and hoping to start throwing soon. He said he doesn't want to think about next year yet. He's not ready. He'll deal with that when the time comes, when he's healthy, and he'll talk about that then. He's been watching the guys. He says it's frustrating to watch at home because he wants to be out there with them and really paying attention to those guys in the bullpen. But some really good news for him as he's sitting at home getting to be a dad, and his daughter's going to be 3 this off season, but his wife Carla expecting late October. He said there is a little Jack, a little Joaquim on the way. due very soon. So he is getting some of that dad time and that family time, but itching to get back out there. And I said to him, what do you think of this young bullpen? I mean, this was your bullpen, and then it was Broxton's bullpen, but no one out there has a whole lot of experience. And he said they're doing a great job, and they're just kind of, learning together. But I've asked those guys that, and I don't really know that they have an answer. Who's the leader in that bullpen? And they all kind of look at each other because none of them have a whole lot of service time.
Interesting.
I tried to pin it on Holland with the help of his teammates. Now that you're the big-time closer, he wanted no part of it. Oh, no, not me. T-Ford said experience on earth because he's the oldest.
Fielder makes a play in foul territory, so Escobar is out for the first time tonight. Much different game from last night. At the end of 5, 1-0. Tonight's Home Depot doing more on defense.
I'll say Bruce and his defense go hand in hand, especially Moose, who's started more double plays from a third baseman in the league. He's excellent. Quick feet, great glove, gets dirty, gets to his knees and fires it. I tell you, that's a big help to Bruce and the pitching staff.
So, what do you think about Bruce Chen tonight?
I think Bruce is on his game, and I think that you need a little more practice.
I think you need to give that back to you.
Yeah, but I wanted you to hold the ball. So
I'm a little erratic with my flipping.
But Bruce is not. That curveball, speaking of flipping, is really working. He's keeping it down in the zone. He's tricking batters left and right. And he's on top of his game so far.
I think I need to work on my command of the flip. 0-2 on Alex Avila, Tiger catcher. He walked leading off the third inning. Bruce has allowed 3 base runners in 5 innings, and all 3 leading off an inning. So he's been able to stop the Tigers' momentum. Austin Jackson opened the game with a double. He was at third base with 1 out, but Bruce was able to strike out Cabrera and Fielder. Avila's walk in the third. He was erased on the play we just showed you, the diving play by Moustakas to start the double play. And then Delman Young singled leading off the 5th, and he was erased with a ground ball double play. 2-2.
Another reason that Bruce can be tough is that his windup is an old school windup. He starts like straight up, and then he drops his foot, his arms come, his legs, so he's got a lot of moving parts, and that helps. Look at that. Pain to the outside corner.
Third strikeout for Bruce Chen, 1 away in the 6th.
There you see that windup. Takes a small step back, finds his toe hole on the rubber. Good balance. He's straight up. Moving forward, and a sidearm fastball.
And a changeup is low. Ball one to Ramon Santiago at second base tonight. Omar Infante played second last night.
Our last stop in Boston, Bruce was throwing his side piece, what they call it. On the third day after their start, they throw on the side. And I was down in the bullpen in the stands. Is that bullpen's right there? Is another bullpen that the fans are accessible. I sat there and I watched him. And he probably threw, I don't know, 30-something pitches. Dave Island was giving him a couple of tips here and there. But one thing I noticed, he was not chewing gum in his side session. I said, hey, Bruce, when he was done, Bruce, how come you don't chew gum? He says, I don't do it on my side session because there's nobody watching me. And no hitters can tip my pitches. I mean, I can't tip my pitch to hitters. So I don't chew gum. He only chews it out there because he tips his pitches sometimes with his facial expressions.
Oh.
It's interesting when you watch these guys do their side work when no one's watching, so to speak.
Austin Jackson has come to the plate 8 times in this series, and he's reached 7 times. He's 2 for 3 tonight. So he's at first with 2 down, and let's get to tonight's AT&T trivia question. Who was the last Royal to lead the league in doubles? Alex right now leading the major leagues with 44. Moustakas and Pena in foul ground, and Mike Moustakas reaching over the railing. Another good defensive play for him, and another scoreless inning for Bruce Chan. Royals lead 1-0. Hosmer's 2-out single in the 4th. A look at tonight's Toyota League leaders, and Alex Gordon leading the major leagues. One more double than Milwaukee's Aramis Ramirez. Adrian Gonzalez starting with the Red Sox, now with the Dodgers. He's 3rd with 37. And Alex lost a double batting in the 1st inning when he lined Prince Fielder at first. Hits that ball about a foot more to the right of Fielder, and it's down into the right field corner, but Fielder caught it and turned it into a double play. Alex is 0 for 2. This is also our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant tonight is Daniel Green from Kansas City, Kansas. And if the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Daniel wins $1,000. A grand slam is worth $25 grand. 2-1. Speaking of leading the league in doubles, any thoughts on our trivia question tonight? The last Royal to lead the league in doubles.
Kevin Seitzer.
Now, Billy Butler had 51 in 2009, but I do not believe that led the league. Santiago will throw out Alex, so he's 0 for 3. One down in the 6th inning. I also guessed Jermaine Dye during the commercial break. I was told that was not the answer. You say Kevin Seitzer, and the winner is George Brett, 45 in 1990. In 1977, Hal McRae hit 54 doubles for the Royals. That's the team record. And if Alex just has one more double each series from now until the end of the year, he will pass Hal McRae. Billy fell 3 doubles short in 2009 when he finished with 51. Tonight, Billy is a tough luck 0 for 2. He's hit a shot to the shortstop Peralta on one hop for an out. And he's driven Austin Jackson up against the wall in center field for an out in the 4th. Up the first base line, and that is foul.
Well, maybe now with 2 strikes, he'll hit something soft that can fall in for a knock. Sometimes hitting it hard is overrated.
Well, we saw in that 4th inning how we see at times the injustice in this game. Billy hits one to the wall. Jackson goes crashing into it. And Eric Hosmer hits a little lob wedge over the mound. He gets a base hit and an RBI. That's not fair.
No. It's a strange deal, baseball. That was about a 75-foot knock.
Looks like he's going over to scouting reports. Maybe the defensive scouting reports on where the Tigers hit the ball and where he should be lined up when he takes the field behind Bruce Chen in the 7th inning. Billy's still stuck on 99 career home runs. And there are many ballparks in the American League. Baltimore stands out that would not have held his deep drive to center field in the 4th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's hit to center field, but he got underneath it. Jackson started back and now descends on the ball for the 2nd out. 2 down in the 6th. And on the topic of the doubles, Alex Gordon with 44. We ask you in our Sprint You Call It question for tonight, how many doubles do you think Alex Gordon will finish with this year? 44 to 48, that's A. B, 49 to 53, or C, tying Hal McRae at 54 or more. Breaking ball for a strike to Mike Moustakas, who has a double tonight. Text 432-432. The keyword is Royals, followed by a space, and then A, B, or C. No balls, 2 strikes.
Tying that record, he's going to have to do a lot of hitting. But Moose, talking about doubles, got him one early.
Off the plate, and Fielder took a tricky hop on him. He goes to the bag himself and then collides with Moustakas, who takes him to the ground with a great open field tackle.
Wow.
Scott Pioli is on the phone right now with Dayton Moore. Royals baseball is brought to you by Panera Bread, now with 24 KC Metro locations. Visit us online at PaneraKansas.com. And by AT&T Uverse, the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. 1-0 Royals to the 7th inning. Bruce Chen with 6 scoreless. And he's got Miguel Cabrera with a strikeout and a ground out to short. Tigers with just 3 hits in the first 6 innings and 4 runners. Cabrera, Fielder, Young coming up, and they're a combined 1 for 6 with a single. 2 balls and no strikes.
Pitching is a beautiful thing when you're not overpowering and you're not blowing it by guys and you're not gifted with a strong, powerful arm. When you pitch, same results. Mixing them.
3-0.
Changing speeds. Long windup, arm angles. Look at those. That's very consistent.
And there was a time not that long ago with Bruce Chen, anywhere from 86 to 90 with his fastball, he would not be regarded as a soft throwing lefty. I remember when, and I'll remember this for the rest of my life, when my dad was a hitting coach in the late 80s and I was a bat boy, and I overheard him telling somebody that the average major league fastball in the late 80s was 85 miles an hour. I couldn't believe it. Well, that's changed. I mean, now we're talking probably 91, 92 for an average, but it wasn't that long ago as Cabrera hits it deep to center field. Dyson won't get to it. Cabrera, who has a sore ankle, he has to hustle to get to second base, and Dyson almost got him. Cabrera is at second with his 33rd double of the year and landed heavy on that ankle.
Well, he hit the bag with that leading ankle. Caught it a little bit, but you know, he's got a great inside out swing, and the ball hits off the base of the wall. No chance for Dyson, but the throw almost got him. But watch his foot. Goes over the base. Kind of stretched it a little bit, but he's all right.
So the tying runs at second base with nobody out, and Prince Fielder at the plate. He has struck out and flied out against Bruce Chen, and then was involved in a collision as he lines to Dyson, and Cabrera is going to tag, so he'll go to third with 1 out. Our AT&T Uverse reverse replay. Mike Moustakas running into Prince Fielder for the final out of the bottom of the 6th.
Looks like Moose ran into a wall. Oh, man. And then he goes ahead and gets the takedown. But that crash there right on Moose's sternum, and he went ahead and took the big guy down. Oh, Moose mixing it up out there. Got one of his antlers bent.
Now the Royals bring the infield in halfway with Cabrera at third and Delman Young at the plate, and Young is nailed. So Young is on for the second time, and now first and third, and Johnny Peralta coming up.
Got to be able to pitch inside.
Now Peralta has flied out twice. Bruce Chen this time around is going to try and get something on the ground, and Peralta has grounded into 16 double plays. 0-1. Vin Manzero, who was called up at the end of the Boston series, begins to warm up behind Bruce, who's only thrown 83 pitches. One ball, one strike. Bruce has really pitched Peralta well over the years. Peralta just 3 out of 22 against Bruce Chen. There's an excellent changeup. That puts Bruce ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the first time all night, and we're in the 7th inning, that the Tigers have had more than one base runner. 2-2. They had 1 runner in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and now 2 in the 7th, with the Royals leading 1-0. Struck him out. Next best thing to a double play ground ball. 4 strikeouts for Bruce.
Yeah, that's a big rainbow curve. Started up around his shoulders and drops down to the knees. Frustrating to some hitters.
So Jeff Baker with runners at 1st and 3rd, 2 down, and Baker has grounded out twice. Both times to Mike Moustakas. One of them leading to a 5-4-3 double play. Two and 0.
He is a 300 hitter career average against left-handers.
Two balls, 1 strike. Baker trying to go the other way after Bruce has tied him up and gotten him on ground balls to the left side. And the right-hand batters that do well against pitchers like Bruce Chen, they use the middle of the field and right field. You pull him, and this is what's going to happen. Baker grounds to 3rd for the 3rd time. For the 2nd time tonight, Bruce Chen works around a leadoff double. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. Moment is brought to you by the Missouri Division of Tourism. Go to visitmo.com to start planning your next Missouri getaway. And you're looking at the St. Louis Art Museum. The space includes Oceanic, pre-Columbian, that's my favorite, Chinese, 19th and 20th century European and American, and a large collection of 20th century German paintings.
That's my favorite.
The museum offers a full range of featured exhibitions, a research library, 4 conservation labs, a varied annual schedule of special events, and community and school programs. It's the only permanent building remaining from the 1904 World's Fair. Seven scoreless innings for Bruce Chen, and he's done it with 90 pitches. And now the Royals need to add to their lead. 1-0 against Anibal Sanchez. Eric Hosmer's single with 2 outs in the 4th inning drove in Mike Moustakas. Lorenzo Cain taking ball 1. Lorenzo has an infield single, and he is grounded out to second. Royals have 1 run, 6 hits. The Tigers no runs, 4 hits so far. 1-1.
Okay, that inside fastball is Lorenzo's pitch. He got one in Boston. It went over the monster.
On a line.
On a line. I mean, just a dart, a frozen rope. But that's that inside pitch. He's going to throw him a slider here.
And Lorenzo lines it into left center field. Jackson with good speed gets to it quickly. Lorenzo for a moment thinking about stretching it into a double, but he'll settle with a leadoff single, his 2nd hit of the game, and that's a winner.
And hopefully he ends up scoring. That's a slider out over the middle. Good head position, keeps his hands, a nice follow through. Is that a hot watcher pick?
Yep, both Escobar and Cain have multi-hit games.
Wow, that's a tough win there.
Which would fall into the category of 2 or more Royals with multi-hit games.
That's a good pick.
That was very close to being a balk. Prince Fielder was a long ways off of first base, but close enough to apply the tag. Ball 1 to Eric Hosmer.
And Prince does that. If you'll notice, he catches the ball and he tags him, and then he tags him again.
Eric Hosmer has driven in the game's only run. Sanchez made a great pitch on him, but Eric was able to muscle the ball over the mound, if you want to call it that, with a shattered bat. Dropped it in between the mound and second base, went diving head first, and scored Mike Moustakas from third base. A slide step to prevent Cain from getting a good jump from first, and it's 1-1 on Hosmer.
Hosmer really pulled off of that one. Let's take a look at his first 2 at bats. Okay, that was a good swing right at him, Prince, and then this one here was a thing, and it was a beautiful thing. Nothing Sanchez could do, as he couldn't believe that he couldn't get him out. 2 out, RBI.
Big swing, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And you've probably heard a million times, if you've been following baseball, about the importance of keeping the ball down. And that's just not referring to if the ball's up, hitter can hit a home run. But even when a hitter is fooled and he breaks his bat, if the pitch is up, more wacky things can happen on a pop-up or a ball that's hit in the air when a hitter's jammed than when he's jammed and he hits the ball on the ground.
Yep, you're exactly right. Percentages are better for balls to fall in. Hosmer seems to be pulling his head off in this at-bat.
Hits it hard again. Santiago fumbles. That may have cost the Tigers a double play. It allows Cain to go up to second base, 1 out.
That's twice he's hit the ball hard. Kept his head on it that time. Ball got a little hot for Santiago.
Jim Leland has a bullpen that's ready to go when he comes out, but he's going to stay with Sanchez to pitch to Brian Pena. Brian is 0 for 2 tonight, so his overall batting average is .247, but his batting average with runners in scoring position is .326.
He's been getting some clutch ribbies out of those 21 stakes he's got.
Two and 0. So Sanchez now in his last 2 starts for the Tigers has pitched 13 innings and he's allowed 2 earned runs. And with his strong start a week ago today against Toronto, he picked up the win, but right now the best he can hope for is a no decision. He's down 1-0, trying to get through the 7th. Brian with a big swing, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez will be a free agent at the end of the year, so it's a risky move by the Tigers to bring him on because they only control him until the end of the season. Tigers are hoping it's the end of the postseason, not just the regular season. National League's Rookie of the Year in 2006, Anibal Sanchez. We told you about his no-hitter that year against Arizona. That was just his 7th major league win, a no-hitter.
Wow.
Pena's down on strikes, got him with a breaking ball down and in. And for Sanchez, that is strikeout number 1. It comes with 2 down in the 7th. Well, there are many ways to describe Jim Leland. One of them would be old school, and in that light, he will stick with his starter. He'll give his starter the benefit of the doubt. He is not one with an itchy trigger finger when it comes to going to the bullpen. He was standing on the steps a few times early in the game with Justin Verlander yesterday, and Verlander ended up giving him almost 6 innings.
Well, remember that first start of the year that Verlander had here at the K, where he threw 130 pitches?
31, yeah.
131 pitches. Leland was telling himself, man, do I go out and get him or not? I mean, he says, well, after the game, if they're going to fire me, let him do it. Leland stuck with his guy. And hadn't hurt him. Remember, we were talking about, wow, that many pitches that early in the season could slow this guy down. But
that was his 3rd start of the year.
Right.
Hit hard again, but right at Peralta. So the Royals get a leadoff single, but they leave Kane on base, and we head to the 8th. It's still a 1-0 Royals lead.
Chen returns to the hill with a 1-0 lead. Panera takes us around the league. Tampa Bay rocks Matt Harrison, 12 hits and 7 earned runs. Minnesota putting up a 6th spot. Josh Willingham, 32 home runs. Twins coming here later in the week. Boston and L.A. will be playing later tonight. Yunel Escobar providing the power for a Toronto team without Jose Bautista for the rest of the year. Chicago crushes Baltimore. Welcome to the Orioles. Joe Saunders giving up 7 runs and 6 earned. And Oakland doubling up Cleveland as the Indians continue to struggle game in and game out. Ryan?
Boy, that's another National League pitcher going to the American League and getting knocked around.
And they're not done. Randy Wolf's going to sign a contract tonight, I hear, with the Orioles.
Bruce Chen has pitched 7 scoreless innings. He's only given up 4 hits. Hosmer fields, gets it to Bruce, and now he has a season high 7 1/3 innings. Alex Avila's 0 for 2. This is the 3rd start for Bruce against the Tigers. We showed you this earlier here at Kauffman Stadium back on April 17th. Bruce pitched very well against Detroit, gave up just 2 runs in 7 innings. And then in July at Comerica Park, the Tigers made some adjustments. They scored 6 runs off of Bruce in 3 1/3. Bruce lost that game on April 17th, 3-1, and now a season high 7 1/3 innings, and he's given up just 4 hits, no runs.
And he looks as fresh as the opening day of the season.
And now 0-2 on Santiago, who's flied out twice.
Bruce stepped on a ball in Boston and kind of rolled his ankle. Was hobbling around a little bit, but that hasn't been an effect for him at all. And what was evident was that play right there when he covered first base. He had to start and stop because he wasn't sure if he was going to be needed to cover first, and he looks fine.
And that's probably that would irritate an ankle the most, right? I mean, trying to accelerate,
Stop.
and then stopping.
That's right.
Up the middle, a lot of side spin. Escobar gets to it, throws out Santiago, and there are 2 down.
Okay, here he was covering first base. Watch him. He slows down, then he starts again, and now he's got to put the brakes back on and find the bag.
When he's put in a dangerous part of the base.
Very dangerous. You can get stepped on easily.
Now let's see what Bruce can do with Austin Jackson, who's made 1 out in this series. 3 for 3 with 2 walks last night. 2 for 2 with a single and a double tonight.
That's a pretty nice spot, that last pitch there.
One and one.
Okay, let's watch Bruce. See where his foot is. I mean, that is very dangerous. And a runner come in and see the back of that heel. Boy. But Avila, saw it. They might have got him out.
Lorenzo Cain makes the play in right field. 8 scoreless innings for Bruce Chen. 1-0 Royals at the end of 7½. Last night, won game 1, but they allowed 8 runs. Tonight, the Royals have not allowed a single run through 8 innings. Hey, don't forget about the 4 for $44 deal from the Royals in Taco Bell. That includes 4 Royals game tickets, 4 hats, 4 Taco Bell combo meals, all for just $44. And this deal is good for any Royals home game. You can get your tickets by going to Royals.com/Taco Bell. Former Royal Octavio Dotel is a Chevy call to the bullpen for the Tigers. So Anibal Sanchez hoping for a no decision at this point, allowing just 1 run in 7 innings, but outpitched by Bruce Chen. Royals have the top of the order here in the 8th, and Gerard Dyson with a big swing, and he missed.
Dotel sidearm fastball, low to mid 90s, a slider and a changeup. He's been good. I'll say.
To the left field line, Andy Dirks runs it down. Dyson is 1 for 4. Don't forget, if you're out of town and you're a subscriber to MLB.tv, you can take the Royals with you. You'll see every Royals out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Just visit Royals.com. MLB.tv. That's baseball everywhere.
Said Dotel's been doing pretty well in his last 17 outings dating back to July 14th. He's got 15 strikeouts and it just has a 1.89 ERA, so he's been dealing.
Two hits for Escobar and a stolen base. And for Escobar, that stolen base was his 27th. That's a new career high. And we've still got more than a month to go. Batting at .304. Career high with 25 doubles and a career high with 27 stolen bases. Dotel has pitched for everybody. And he spent some time with the Royals in 2007. He saved 11 games, was traded to the Braves, and when he was traded, the closer's role went to a gentleman by the name of Joaquin Soria.
I wonder if he's kept every one of his jerseys. How many teams has he pitched for?
The Tigers are his 13th big league team. That's a major league record. Matt Stairs, Mike Morgan, and Ron Vallone all had played for 12 major league teams.
It's quite a jersey collection.
Are you ready for the list?
Go ahead.
The Mets, the Astros, the A's, the Yankees, the Royals, the Braves, the White Sox, the Pirates, the Dodgers, the Rockies, the Blue Jays, the Cardinals, and the Tigers.
Not one team twice.
Nope. Wow. The longest he was with one team was Houston, 2000 to 2004. Started his career as a starting pitcher and moved to the bullpen, and he was not happy with that decision. And now he has over 100 saves in his big league career.
Say he's got a rubber arm.
Still 2-2.
Escobar trying to shoot him to the opposite field on all these swings. It's a good approach for a righty, because when he comes sidearm like that, it's hard to keep your front shoulder in.
And we'll do it again.
And so he tried a slider.
Fielder won't catch up to it. It's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Escobar is 2 out of 6 in the past against Dotel with a home run.
He's battling him. 9th pitch coming.
Just waiting for that one mistake.
Go ahead and
He's spoiled a lot of good pitches by Dotel.
That's right. Go ahead and find the one you like and beat him.
Remember hearing Dotel last year. Now this was when he had only played for 10 teams, but he began last year with the Blue Jays, and his season goal was just not to be traded. Hit well to right center field, and it's Baker coming over from right. You ever heard a guy with a preseason goal, I just don't want to be traded? Well, he was traded from the Blue Jays to the Cardinals, and I don't think he minded it because he was with St. Louis when they won the World Series, and now with the Tigers. So how many doubles do the fans think Alex Gordon will finish with? Well, more than half believe that he will either tie or surpass Hal McRae's record of 54 from 1977. And we thank you for voting tonight.
Love to see it. Now, after that long at bat, look at Dotel. He's saying, hey, come on now. You know, why are you doing that for me, to me? Huh?
And if you're just going to fly out to right field, why didn't you do that on the second pitch, right?
Yes. That was a friendly exchange.
All of that and just a fly ball to right field?
Yeah.
You think that's what he was saying?
Something like that.
Alex nearly hit his 45th double in the first inning, but he lined out to Prince Fielder, who was playing on the bag, and turned it into a double play. Alex is 0 for 3.
So since we're talking about doubles, why didn't he just hit one right here, 2-0? Good count. Dotel should challenge him here.
And a solid base hit into center field. That means Billy Butler will come up with a man on, 2 down in the 8th.
Okay, he'll take this. Knee-high fastball.
Billy is 0 for 3 tonight. He could easily be 2 for 3. 2 hard hit outs. The shortstop Peralta in the second, and Austin Jackson up against the wall in center field in the 4th. And as soon as Dotel threw that over, I remember that about him when he was a Royal. He does not like to throw to first base. So he'll just turn and just, as if the ball was a shot put, just rainbow it over to the first baseman.
And just letting Gordon know, hey, I know you're there.
And he'll do that from time to time, but more times than not, he looks very uncomfortable with his throw over to first base. So that is not a move to con Alex Gordon into thinking that he doesn't like throwing over there. He does that most of the time. Probably not a strike, and the count is 0-2. Billy looking for a pitch up from Dotel. He's 2 for 10 against him with a home run. Billy has been stuck on 99 home runs, coming up on 3 weeks. Last homer when the Royals were in Baltimore, that was 2 road trips ago. Still 0-2. Now, we didn't catch in the Royals dugout whether Ned Yost went over there and told Bruce Chen that he was done, and we didn't see a long line of Royals going over to congratulate Bruce for his efforts. He's still sitting next to Brian Pena. Greg Holland at the same time is warming up in the bullpen.
Looking at Bruce there, he looked like he's still in the game.
Center field, deep again, but Jackson catches up to it right in front of the track. So the Royals are scoreless in the 8th. Who will it be for the 9th? The Tigers will have Dirks, Cabrera, and Fielder. And it will be the Royals traded Jonathan Broxton to the Cincinnati Reds, and for the first time in his big league career, Greg Holland was a closer. And this is last night, striking out Miguel Cabrera, then getting a fly ball to left from Delman Young, and Holland is 8 for 8 in save opportunities as a closer, and he's trying for his 9th with no room for error tonight. Same as last night. Chevy called to the bullpen. A 1-run game last night, 9-8. And tonight 1-0 after Bruce Chen goes a season high 8 innings without allowing a run.
Boy, tremendous job by Bruce. I thought Ned might bring him out at least for Dirks, to face Dirks, and then take him out and give the crowd here a chance to give Bruce some love. But I don't think Ned's in any mood for that. So he's going to Holland. I like this move. This is a closer's job. 9th inning, 1-0 game. His adrenaline's pumping. He's ready to come in.
Up the middle, past Escobar, and the leadoff man is on for the Tigers. And they've had the leadoff man on quite a bit tonight. That is now the 5th time, and they failed to score the first 4 times.
It's a good low strike. Dirks just slapped at it. Ball had topspin on it. Got too quickly.
Last night, Holland struck out Miguel Cabrera. Fastball is below the knees, I guess.
Oh, man, that's a good low strike. He threw him all sliders last night, so he's going to mix him up here maybe and try to just keep it out of the middle and up. maybe he can entice him into hitting to a ground ball double play.
2-0. The Royals have pitched 10 shutouts this year, which is the 4th most in the American League. And they've had a couple of 1-0 shutouts against Minnesota in June and against Tampa Bay on the last road trip. And now Cabrera, left center. Dyson dives. Did he get it? Yes.
Wow, Dyson pulls out a gem. That's a beauty. Just in time for Holland, who looked like he might be struggling the first 2 hitters. They hit it hard. Dyson with a tremendous backhand. Good concentration on the dive. Got to pull that ball up off the turf, let the umpire see you didn't trap it. I mean, that ball was a sinking liner. Tough play. And Cabrera's like, he trapped it. No, he didn't. Now you roll the double play.
Well, remember last night, the Royals decided not to pitch to Prince Fielder. They intentionally walked him, but that was with an open base. So Fielder gets a chance tonight against Holland. He's 0 for 3 tonight. One of his outs is a line out to center field. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Fielder last night was the go-ahead run too. So you don't see managers late in the game walk the go-ahead run. But it was a gut feeling Ned had, and he won.
Did he go? No appeal. 2-1. This is only the 3rd time that Holland and Fielder have hooked up. Fielder has a single against Holland and then the intentional walk last night. Andy Dirks opening the inning with a single to center. Gerard Dyson with a diving play took a hit away from Cabrera. There's a line drive into right field, so that Dyson play is huge. Even bigger now after the base hit from Fielder, and now 2 on with 1 out.
Holland's just happy he hit a single and didn't get underneath that ball. So lousy single's okay. Giovatellis looks at Holland and says, hey, you and I are working on a comebacker. I'll be covering second. Throw it to me. He hopes that happens here.
So Delman Young gets another chance. And in an almost identical situation last night, comes up in a 1-run game with 2 on. Just missed a 3-run home run last night. He batted with 2 outs, ended up flying to left to end the game, and now comes on with 2 on, 1 out. 1 for 2 tonight. He's been hit by a pitch, and he is single. Mentioned last night, you really don't have to throw a quality strike to Delman Young. He's only walked 17 times all year. Here's the play last night. So close to the foul pole. Called foul. A video review, which was confirmed a foul ball. Oh, and 2. And Holland, I don't think has thrown him a strike yet.
No. And he has grounded into 14 double plays. If we can get him out front, maybe he can roll him over. Put him in the lane. Royals defense has already turned 2 behind Bruce Chin tonight.
Got him. 2 down in the 9th.
making Holland work for it. Slider that was elevated. Got away with one there.
Might have surprised him. I mean, because you go up against Holland and you know it's going to be something down and away. Not this time, but Holland gets a strikeout, and now Johnny Peralta 0 for 3 tonight. Ryan Pena going out and giving some signs to the defense. Is that where he will throw if the Tigers take off?
If they do a double steal, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen here.
Over the inside, strike one at 98. Now Peralta, he's done well in the past against Holland. 6 at-bats, 3 hits. Holland has struck him out once. And while Peralta's numbers are down compared to last year, he has hit very well against the Royals. 0 for 3 tonight, but one of his hits, or one of his outs, was a line out to left field. He has Dirks at second base, Fielder at first with 2 outs. Over the outside for a strike. Whoa. 1-2.
That was almost identical to the previous pitch. The location. Oh. But both of them were a little bit off the zone on our box tracks.
That's about as loud a groan we've heard from the crowd all year. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Peralta. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Found that one off his belly.
Setting up down and away and missing away. I bring that up because in the outfield the Royals are playing Peralta to pull. Mason over toward left center. Alex closer to the line, so the gap is in right center field. But right now they're pitching Peralta away. And now Pena and Holland are going to talk it over. Eric Hosmer with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning on a broken bat bloop over the mound, and landing in front of second base produced the only run of the game, driving in Mike Moustakas. Anibal Sanchez went 7 innings for Detroit, gave up 1 run. The Hosmer bloop. Bruce Chen pitched 8 scoreless innings, and now Greg Holland trying to save it for him. Get Bruce back to even this year at 10-10. 2-2. Struck him out. Got him with heat up and away. The Royals shut out the Tigers 1-0. It is the Royals 11th shutout of the year and their third 1-0 shutout. And while Greg Holland gets the actual statistic next to his name, there was also a save in the inning from Gerard Dyson.
I'll say that was a great game. Well pitched. Bruce Chen, double figures in wins for the third straight year now. Congratulations to Bruce on his finest outing of the season. Dyson, wow, after that play in Boston up on the wall, I didn't know if it'd get any better, but for the situation, you're right, Ryan. That great play was a save. Moose induced, started 2 double plays for Bruce. On his belly, all over the place, getting dirty, and there's Slugger waving the victory flag.
It's been a great month of August for the Royals. They're 16-11, their first winning August since 2000. And the Royals, after struggling at home to begin the year, really picked it up at Kauffman Stadium. They've won 8 of their last 9. So a 1-0 final score. Let's go down to the field, and here's Joel.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. We've got right now Gerard Dyson and Brian Pena. I want to talk to Gerard about that catch, game-saving perhaps catch, because a run ends up coming into that inning if you don't make it on Miguel Cabrera. Take us through the play.
I mean, it was a hard hit ball, and I was just trying to make the play on it. Bruce been doing a good job keeping us in the game. Pitched a heck of a game, and we just try to go out there and make some plays behind Holland so he can get the save.
I know you enjoyed climbing the wall at Fenway the other day for that Spider-Man-like catch, but the significance of this one might have been bigger. Did this one excite you even more?
Yeah, because we got the win behind there.
All right, tell me, I mean, how do you time something like that, too? And what about the risk? I mean, if you miss, obviously it's going by you. You had to feel pretty good about it.
It's pretty tough. You got to go off instincts right there.
All right, we'll let you go head into the clubhouse, and we'll bring in Brian Pena. All right, BP. I know the most important thing for a catcher is for his pitcher to have that great game. Where does this rank as far as games for Bruce this year, as far as how good he was?
I think the best one. You know, I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of my teammate. I'm very proud of these beautiful fans. And, you know, these guys, they did a great job. And, you know, Bruce today, he was very unpredictable. You know, he was mixing it up, and he was using his fastball, you know, a lot more. And I'm very happy and excited to help him and help my team to win.
For Bruce, it's been 3 really good outings in a row after some really rough times, but 6 innings, and then the 8 innings here today. What changed over the last 3 starts?
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Dave Island and Nate Joss. You know, we had a very good conversation with them, and they kind of opened our eyes, you know, and ever since that, you know, thanks God, Bruce has been doing a great job for us.
He looked like he was in a rhythm from right when that game started, too. Although there was a little bit of a challenge in the first inning. How much do you think that helped him confidence-wise to be able to get out of that jam?
The fact that, you know, that we're facing a team like Detroit, every inning is a challenge. You know, those guys, you got to tip your hat to them. You know, they're a great baseball club. But, you know, Bruce, you know, he's been great. You know, he's been great all year long. And, you know, I'm very proud to call him, you know, my friend and be behind home plate, you know, a lot of time when he pitched.
Yeah, got out of that with Austin Jackson in the first inning. Again in the 7th inning, escapes the jam. Brian, great job tonight.
Thanks, and I want to say hi to my family and the boys from the truck.
There you go. That is Brian Pena catching Bruce Chen as he always does. Big victory for Bruce. We head back upstairs to Ryan.
And we want to say hi to our buddies in the truck as well. Here's our Chevy play of the game, Gerard Dyson in the 9th.
Thought that ball was sinking for sure. Excellent backhand. Backhands, you never know, but Dyson did.
Back with more of the Royals' 1-0 win.